Okay, as you can see, we're ready to put a card together from this beautiful, I think it's called Gilded Autumn Suite. I believe that's what it's called. Yeah, Gilded Autumn Suite. And it's on page 44 in the mini catalog that goes from August 4th through December. So I have got all my pieces ready here. So we're going to get through this pretty quickly. I have, we'll set this aside. We have a piece of very vanilla that is cut at 5 1/4, no 8, I'm sorry, 8 and a half, and then scored at 4 1/4. I think that's how it is. I'm not sure. Anyhow, it's a half sheet of paper cut landscape wise, if that makes sense. So anyhow, so now we have our card base, and we're going to turn it landscape, and we have a piece of the brushed gold that is cut at 4 inches by 5 1/4. Yeah, we've just dropped a 1/4 of an inch on each side of the paper, because this is now 4 1/4, and this here is 5 1/2, this length. Okay, so we're going to drop that a 1/4 of an inch on each side, so it comes down to an even border of about 1/8 of an inch on each side. So anyhow, let's go ahead and get that tacked down. I'm going to use my Stamp and Seal, okay, because this is a heavy card stock. I don't want it to lift up in any way to my recipient. I mean, you go to all the trouble of making a nice card, and then you have a problem with it lifting up. But I have to say, the new Stamp and Seal, this is a Stamp and Seal Plus I just used, okay? So the Stamp and Seal is just as good in holding things together. So now we've got that centered, I hope. There we go, just like that. And then we have 3 pieces of DSP from the same card suite, and they are cut at 3 3/4 by 1 1/2, I believe. Let me check it real quick. Yeah, 1 1/2 by 3 3/4, exactly. 1 1/2 by 3 3/4. And you kind of just arrange this as to how it looks more appealing to you. What we're going to do is put a piece of Early Espresso that is cut at 3 inches by 1 3/4. And then I have the greeting that's in the stamp set, "My heart is grateful for you," stamped on a piece of 2 3/4 by 1 1/2. And so you just kind of look at, this is kind of a stamp that, or a card that's cased off of the catalog. A little different though. They show that you fussy cut out the leaf from this pattern here, but I don't necessarily like it next to that. So if I put it over here, okay, and let's see. And I want my acorn right here, I guess. And then we can put this here underneath the acorn so that it stands out. And then we have another leaf. Now these two are using the punch that we just used out. And they're patterns on the paper that you can cut out. I mean, punch out. You get the idea. So anyhow. And the little acorn, you can punch that out of the paper as well. Okay, but you do have a stamp for it. You can stamp it and punch it as well. So, but this is just right off the paper itself. I'm going for quick and easy today, and fast. So, and not sure if I can do this, but okay, let's do that, and then we will put a little ribbon on the corner here, a little bow. That little bow that I tied earlier will look perfect right there. Yeah, perfect. So that's what we'll do. We'll put this thing together. Okay. So we're going to take all this aside. And the first thing we're going to do, I like to center my centerpiece on the cardstock. It kind of helps me to see my boundaries a little better, and I can make it a little more even. So we're going to use, let's go ahead and use our Seal Plus, okay? And just in case I accidentally get it off of this, since it's a narrow piece, I want to use my silicone mat, okay? Because this back side is an embossed piece of this particular piece of cardstock. So I do want to make sure that that's going to stick well onto the cardstock. Whoops. Come on. There it goes. Takes a little takes a little practice getting used to the new dispensers. Okay, so now remember we have like a 1/4 of an inch or 1/8 of an inch on all sides of this. So I want to kind of center this, and I can do that by my ruler. Okay, let's not make a mess if we don't have to. Okay, so remember this is 5 1/4. So I want the center of that, and I can make a little tick mark right about, my center would be right about here, wouldn't it? 2 3/4, okay? So make a tick mark there, and then that way, when I put down my paper, I can kind of center it on that right there. That's my centering mark right there. And so I want to do it just like this. Oopsie daisy, come on. Let's get this straight. And I didn't press it down hard. So, okay, that looks good. Press it down hard when I get finished here. So, oh, I'm sorry, I'm out of camera view here. Put it up here. See, I went off the piece there. But the good thing about this mat is nothing sticks to it. And my pieces that I went off, I just curl it back. And so now I want to center this. Onto the paper. Come on. Not as difficult as I'm making it look like, guys. Okay, there's that one. Now let's do the other one here. See, these are the little acorns that you can punch out on the back side of this cardstock. I kind of want that to be up, so it would be directional. There we go, that looks really good. Okay, press it all down. Next we want to, let's put some dimensionals on the back of this card. Now, if you're sending this in the mail, you do want to make sure that you add enough of these dimensionals to keep it from collapsing on you. It's always a kind of a bad thing to happen to you after you spent so much time and money putting this thing together. I just want it to look good and hold up. Stuff sticking to me. Okay, so now let's center this little piece. Okay. And again, we've got a 1/4 of an inch, or an eighth, it's like an 1/8 of an inch on all sides. So we kind of want to maintain that image as best as possible. There we go. And we're going to adhere that to the front of this card. And again, we'll do it with our Stampin' Seal Plus. And since we're doing that, we might as well maintain it all the way through. Okay, now I didn't go all the way to the edges because some of that I may want to stick underneath it, but that looks good, just like that. Okay, now we have some, let's do this right here. We're going to adhere our patterns, leaf patterns, and acorn with our what are these things called? Mini glue dots. And I want, because this is the same color as that, and the same pattern, I want to use it over here instead. Yeah, it ain't gonna work, Diana. Can I put it under? Oh, it's gotta go there. Okay, there it goes. And then we want to use this leaf next to that, a little different than that one there, and then our little acorn. So we're going to put the glue dot on the back of our acorn right here, right on that little corner of it. I don't want to show, so we're going to adhere this little leaf right next to that, and this little leaf right under. How does that sound? Just like that. Yeah, I like that idea. So we're going to put some on the front of this one as well. Now I have to kind of poke it underneath there to get it under the thing here. Actually, I'm going to put it on the back. Let's take that off of the front. There we go. And put it on the back. I may want to do that on the other one as well. There we go. Because I don't think it, oh, it's going to hold, yeah, it's going to hold. I'll tuck one under there just in case for security. I kind of like that idea. There we go. All right, now we're going to stick that down. Should we do that with dimensional? What you think? Let's see. Is it too big? Is dimensional too big? No, it isn't. It fit perfectly. But I don't like the leaf there. I'm going to tear that off. Tear that off. Take my dimensional, take off the paper here. And I'm going to stick the leaf to the back of that. Because I don't like it the other way. Okay, there, and that gives it some really dimension, doesn't it? I like that. What else do we need? I think that's a pretty nice card. Let's add this little bow. Use my ribbon scissors to cut this. Take it down just a tad. just a tad here. And we'll nip it here and here. And again, we can adhere that with a glue dot. I like that. Oh, and my heart is grateful for you. I hope you like this card. And again, we would stamp something on the inside, and I would also do my envelope using one of these trims that either that or I would use, what else would I need to find me a vanilla, very vanilla envelope. Let's see what I have over here. Oops. In my card stash. Where's my card? My envelopes. I've reorganized my room and I don't know where anything's at. We just moved here about a month ago, trying to get back into the routine of doing things, and it's been difficult, I have to say, but we're getting there. It will all come in time. Here we go. Don't have any open. I don't. That was. Okay, here's a very vanilla. Somehow got mixed up. I don't know how that happened to move, but it does. Okay. And I also like to use the clear envelopes. I think they're very nice for sending things like this. It, it is just a nice little compliment on them in doing that. But let's just, for the sake of it, stamp us something on the envelope here. Let's use and I want to get some mint macaron inks. So we have some mint macaron ink, and we will just stamp this. Yeah, I want to cover the back of that. Good thing, use of your sheet you get with your orders. There's another use for that. And another. Diana, don't get the edge of it there. Cover that one. Just turning it various ways, trying to get a variety of pattern. They can go up or down, sideways, backwards, whatever you like. It's very complimentary to all of that. This is a fun thing to do. And it decorates the envelope so that the person that's getting it knows that you went to a little extra trouble. And it's fun. The thing to do is when you do it to stamp off, do it twice. Just fill this puppy up. There we go. I think that's sufficient. What do you think? Yeah, I think we did it. Pretty. Come on. Apparently need to use this more often, huh? Okay. That does it. This is our beautiful card. I hope you enjoy. Have a lovely day.